All right, what's going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video comparison. This time it's I'm featuring three here, but mostly this is between the two Iron Mans that are readily available right now. But I am going to show, this is Mark IV. I mean, it still kinda is available. It's currently on waitlist on Sideshow. So this is all that you're gonna get if you get Mark IV. Not a bad deal if you don't get the gantry version. You get all these, hands, and you get the shades. You also get the small little donuts and coffee in there. But most importantly, you get this beautiful head sculpt from Tony Stark. And mind you, this is a movie from Iron Man 2, so he looks a little bit different compared to Mark 50. And this is Mark IV. In my opinion, when you say Iron Man, you always think of Mark IV. It's nice, the arc reactor, just the overall armor and all that stuff. Really nice figure. Now we have this guy, which is the Mark 50, which is a really good figure. As you can see, it comes with a nice assortment of accessories as well. And this is without buying, and I won't ever buy the $250 accessory pack. And you can see this nice head sculpt of Tony Stark, beautiful, and this back piece and some like cannons and whatnot, extra arm. You get this nice cannon as well, and the suit is the nano suit, which is a bit more different than the traditional Iron Man that we've seen. Now this is the latest one, Mark 7. You see all these accessories, it's a lot. Now keep in mind, Mark 7 is almost $100 more than Mark 4 here. So Mark 4 is around $433. Mark 7 is around 340 something. Yeah, and a little bit more than Mark 50. So all these accessories comes with a price. But I guess the bigger question is, if you don't have any Iron Man right now, you're starting with Hot Toys, which Iron Man is it to get? Now the easy answer is get all of them. They're all nice. That's really the easy answer. But for somebody who's kind of tight on budget, I would show you the pros and cons of getting one, and hopefully you can come to the conclusion. And I would put myself in your shoe, like if I can only purchase one. So yeah, we'll take a look at the accessories, how it looks, and how it would fit in your collection. Okay, if we're looking at the body type, as you can see here, obviously the Iron Man 7 is more of the traditional Iron Man compared to the Mark 50. But that's what makes Mark 50 more unique, in my opinion. We've never seen anything like that before since, till we see Infinity War. And with Mark 7, you can make an argument that, Mark 3, Mark 4, I know they're different armors, but, to a regular Iron Man fan, you can make the argument that they look the same, if somebody looks at it. And also one big difference is, if you can see here, but Mark 50 is way shinier compared to Mark 7. And I think it's a matter of personal preference. It's not better or worse. Mark 7 is more of a matte color and something new, honestly, from Hot Toys, especially when it comes to their diecast collections. I don't know how I feel about it. It's okay. I like it. I don't know if I like it more than the shiny version compared to this one. Again, it's a personal preference. I kind of like the shiny version, honestly, but it's just a tad bit. It doesn't bother me. But as far as looks, the fact that you can change, this is the biggest, I guess, difference for Mark 50 to maximize its capability. You need to buy that 250 accessory pack. With Mark 7, it's included. You can change him from battle damage to a regular look, semi, so to speak, semi battle damage, as you can see from the chest. It has scratched off, but not to the extent where we used to have the battle damage Mark 7 from the plastic version. So Mark 7 does a sort of clean look. It still has scratches, sort of battle damage, and sort of a missile version. And Mark 50, out of the box, without buying the accessory pack, also sort of does, minus the battle damage, transform his body until you buy the 250 accessory pack, which you don't really need to. it's optional, but to fully, I guess, unlock the potential of Mark 50, you need to add extra money compared to Mark 50. So accessory wise, I would say Mark 50, gets the nudge. But as far as the looks, I'll give it to Mark 50 just because of its uniqueness. Okay, so as far as the head sculpt, the helmet again of Mark 50 is a bit unique in terms of the shape, the hairline sort of this helmet, which is really nice. However, what Mark 7 gives you is this battle damage head sculpt, which if you want it from the Mark 50, again, you would need to buy the accessory pack so you can just change the faceplate. Look at this Mark 7 right here. It's just amazing. Everything's battle damage from the side head sculpt to the faceplate itself. And you got the removable faceplate here, which you can use it on the light up version to expose Tony Stark's head sculpt. I've always been a fan of this type of head sculpt inside the helmet, and they just improved over time, honestly, compared to the Mark 7 plastic one where we have Boy George as a separate head sculpt. But they've come a long way, honestly. But in terms of design, I'm more of a traditional Iron Man on that sense. Well, this is not too bad itself, but I don't know. Like, I just like the functionality of the battle damage version. However, this is where it trumps all of those. So the Mark 7 comes with two head sculpt, like I mentioned earlier, this battle damage one and this light up version, which is the standard. So it comes with two, and so is Mark 50 in a form of this beautiful head sculpt by High Toys from, where's that? Here we go, Tony Stark. Look at that. No one can trump that right now. I guess the only one would be the battle damage Mark 85. This is the same head sculpt, I suppose, as Mark 46, but what makes it really, really good, because that head sculpt is just amazing. So in terms of head sculpt, as much as I love the battle damage of Mark 7, because of this beautiful head sculpt of Tony Stark, I gotta give it to Mark 50 on this one. Okay, weight has always been an issue when it comes to Iron Man, because we don't know how much die-cast actually goes into these figures. They claim it's die-cast, and then we get figures like that are, let's say, Mark 3, which is what, like maybe 30% die-cast. So, I mean, we pay premium for the word die-cast because, supposedly they use metal and all that stuff. So let's weigh in. And I know Mark 50, this guy right here, is a little on the lighter side when it comes to die-cast. So I don't know if you can see the feet, but this is Mark 50. And 1.71 pounds. Okay, so that's Mark 50. I don't know if you can see. Oh, it's gone. But it's 1.71. But on the contrary, this Mark 7 feels really nice. This one is just heavy and just feels premium. There's something about die-cast that oh, it's, my bad, it's slippery. Here you go. 2.182. This is without any, I don't know if you can see it there, but oh, it's gone. It's 2.182. So it's almost, like 40 pounds, 0.40 pounds heavier than Mark 50. All right, in terms of their bases, they're both quite nice, but I gotta give the edge to Mark 7 here. Even though this is a reused version of the base from Terminator, it's still a lot better than that normal generic stand from Infinity War. I mean, look at the printout. It's a printout. It's not even a plaque. This one is a sticker who keeps on coming off. Like, it's not coming off, but you can see like it's protruding outside, but it's okay. It's a lot better. I mean, maybe they're thinking this is the streets of New York when they were, battling on Avengers. But one thing that's an improvement is this cradle right here. So you can see this is the normal cradle that Hot Toys gives. It has a padded foam inside in here. But Mark 7 has this extra, I guess, crotch grabber. Maybe because of its weight, because it's so much heavier than the other figures. So but I do like that. I do like the fact that it comes with this. But I wish this was lighting up at least. If you're gonna copy T800's base, might as well go out. But yeah, it doesn't have the switch. You can see the battery compartment in the back right there, but it doesn't light up. I mean, it's $400. Would it really kill you guys to give him a light up feature? All right, so this is how I would have displayed him. So just to let you know, my collection mostly now is from Infinity War / Endgame. I just decided I'm gonna sell off most of my Avengers or other movie franchises from Marvel, and just gonna stick with that. As you can see, this is Cap, Bucky, on the other side. Outside of this Black Panther from the movie and Hawkeye, which I can't sell for the life of me, this is mostly Infinity War. Star-Lord looks the same from Infinity War to the Guardians movie, so he's sticking. But like I mentioned earlier, outside Hulk as well. But when the Cap comes out, I'm gonna buy the Captain America Endgame and all that. I sold my Thor, my Black Widow. All those good stuff. So to make it uniform. So does Mark 7 fit those? Sure. He's still Iron Man. He still looks great next to Doctor Strange, which is, again, it's Infinity War. I sold the older version. Does it look great with the team? Sure, why not? But I don't feel it's as organic as Mark 50. So it all comes now. If you have Avengers display pieces, then it might look great. If you have the older Cap and Thor, and he's the diecast version, he would be, I mean, even the plastic version of Mark 7 looks great. But I think it would mesh well. It doesn't look bad, don't get me wrong. He would fit in any collection. He's Iron Man, he looks great. It's diecast, it looks intimidating in the shelf. But I'll go ahead and replace this with Mark 50. All right, so this is Iron Man Mark 50. So it looks great in my opinion. I mean, because of the light shining directly to it, it just looks great, and it's organic. You can see the base even fits, uniform base. It's just me. I guess my OCD would kick in if I got Mark 7 there, knowing that it's not from the same movie. But I mean, this, you can't complain with either, but I would go with Mark 50 as far as display piece is concerned. All right, so with that all being said, you're gonna ask, which one is better? Which one would you recommend? Honestly, this was my plan all along. I never intended to have more than a couple of Iron Mans, and this was my plan, is to get a classic version, which is Mark 7, and then get something that's a bit more modern. And there's no way I could not get Mark 50. I love the movie Infinity War. I'm gonna get the Endgame version, which is 85 as well. But this was my plan all along, just to get two Iron Mans. I don't, some people collect Iron Man, and that is cool because I don't blame them. This is one of the coolest, if not the coolest looking hot toys out there. But my wallet and my display just can't handle them. So I would recommend get both. But if you can only get one, and if you're strictly into one character rule, and I know people are like that just to save money, and if that's the case, it's gonna be a tough choice. But I would have to go to Mark 50. Just the movie itself, I just love Infinity War so much that I love Avengers too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. There's something about Mark 50. I guess the head sculpt, the combination of head sculpt, the sleekness of it. And it just looks so organic and everything. And it's funny because I'm more of a robotic type. I like Mark 7. I didn't know I was gonna like Mark 4 as much as I did now. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. But I guess it comes down to the movie. I just love Infinity War. I think that sways me more. I guess if Infinity War was a bad movie, maybe I would incline to go Mark 7 because it's more classic, and Avengers is actually a pretty good movie. And it has so many display options. You can make him, I don't know, a battle damage, and so many swappable pieces that for someone like me who likes to take pictures, it kind of gives me 3 figures in one. So it's that good. But the price is not really a big difference, between the two. But when it comes down to, I guess, what your favorite movie is. But in all honesty, you can't really go wrong with either. So yeah, just happy collecting and buy whatever your heart desires. If it's me, there's something about Mark 50. You can make the argument that you can skip Mark 50 and just go straight to 85 and just get Mark 7. That's a valid argument as well. But I like I mentioned earlier, just love Mark 50. That's all that there is. Um, because there's other Iron Mans that look like generic Iron Mans, not generic Iron Mans, but robotic Iron Mans. You can go Mark 4 if you can find it cheaper, but I don't think so. It's currently on waitlist. You know what, guys? Just get both. Just honestly, this is a tough decision to make. Just get both. Just save up. Don't buy any more hot toys. You just get both. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram. I haven't posted a lot lately because of the holidays and all that stuff, and because of that darn Modern Warfare I've been playing a lot lately. But yeah, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you guys in the next review.